another Saturday early morning hike with my boy Peyote up in the Santa Fe Hills. Looking out for coyotes and anything else that might want to nab my little boy. I'm very precious about him. So, excuse me if I keep my eyes a little bit peeled, a little bit glancing about. Not that you can see, of course. In the world, but not of the world. To be in the dream, but to recognize it as a dream. To dance in the leela of life, but to not get so lost that you forget it's just a leela, just a dream. All the world's a stage. Actors, actresses, each one playing their part. Who directs the show? We don't know. But we can recognize the dreamlike quality to be in the world, but not of the world. It's an easy thought, but living in this way is not so easy, right? Because the world is tenacious and we have many buttons to push. Most of us are carrying unresolved stuff in our nervous systems, in our subtle energy bodies, in our emotional bodies. So when the world, as it is wont to do, knocks at the door of those unresolved issues, we forget. We forget to be in the world but not of the world. And suddenly all equanimity, grace, clarity, presence, awareness is as if lost. And there we are again, hooked in to the matrix, plugged in again, like Neo, plugged in once again, believing that which is unreal to be real. And so we suffer. Most, many, some on this path of so-called awakening see this, can see this, can see their own tendencies to be triggered. And most, many, some can see that on a certain level, life is but a dream, a play. And that, my friend, is not to belittle the dream. It's not to dismiss the leela. That's why simply turning your back on it, although it sounds appealing to leave the world, and maybe we do have to leave the world for some time. You know, the ashram, the monastery, the cave, the retreat, prolonged retreat. You know, the withdrawal from the tenacious pull of the world, of society, of all of its entanglements and drama, family entanglements, the family drama. Although it is useful and nourishing and deeply instructive to leave for a certain amount of time, still the world calls. And we have to re-enter the world, what I call the marketplace. And therein lies the dance. I'm not sure whether I told you before the story of the seeker who went to India, determined to become enlightened. Got his mantras, got his teaching, saw his guru, and he went to the cave. And he stayed in the cave for months and months and months, and achieved great insight and awareness and peace. An ecstatic state. And then, by and by, he realized his visa to stay in the country had expired, or was due to expire. And he loved India so much. He was called, he had to go to the visa office to renew it, to get it re-stamped. So taking his equanimity and grace with him, off he set to wherever, Delhi or Mumbai, or it doesn't matter. And went to the visa office, and India is a very wise and wrathful, although loving teacher, and it knows more than the individual human thinks that they do. And it had the measure of this guy innately. So he got to the visa office and he got in one line to get his visa stamped, and then it looked like the line next to him was moving faster. So he jumped the line and went to the other line. But then the line that he was in started moving faster and faster, and his was stuck. Somebody at the front was stuck. So he jumped the line back to his original line. And he was moving really fast forward, ready to get his visa, still rooted in equanimity and peace and grace. And he got to the kiosk, and the Indian service visa man shut the kiosk. It was lunchtime for him. And the other line, meanwhile, which was still open, had 10 or so people in it, building up all the time. And this caused a great fury in the seeker, in the finder, and the one who had found equanimity in the cave. And he lost his temper, and he stormed around, and he got reactive, and he got triggered, and he was furious. I enjoyed that story when I read it, when I heard it. The work is in the marketplace. The realization might not be in the marketplace, in the world, but the work is in the marketplace, is in the world. To be in the world but not of the world. To see where the world still lives in us, and where the world has our measure. See what triggers us. I'm not saying any of this is easy, as I keep saying. None of it is easy. It's never easy. But it might be necessary. And we have to go deeper and deeper into our equanimity to see where the world is still triggering us. And that world might be our thoughts, and that world might be our emotions. And it always will be, because the world is inside us and we are inside the world. And the world will trigger that which is still alive, needing to be resolved somehow. The world, I discovered, is the invitation to equanimity. The world is not a problem to our equanimity and peace. The world is the very invitation that we need. We're surrounded and imbued with natural intelligence that is wise beyond measure. There is an intelligence in the universe. We imagine we're separate from it. The ego mind hijacks that intelligence and claims it for itself, but it is not of itself. It's a natural intelligence that can be touched through grace and equanimity, and to see where are we still triggered. Where is the world still playing itself out? This is a ruthless, intimate, persistent. Hold on. Peyote, come back. Come on. Not too far. Hey, 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 hey. A ruthless, persistent, loving teacher. It wants us to love. How can we say no to that kind of invitation? The divine calls us. It wants all of us. It has us anyway, but it wants us to know this. Life is a call to awakening. Life is a call to equanimity. Life is our call to grace, presence, and love. How can we ignore such a call? Thanks for watching and listening. Please, if you like any of this stuff, any of my videos about the raw bones of awakening, the raw bones of living a true life, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, throw me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I really don't know why I'm doing my YouTube channel, but like all things that I seem to do in my creativity, I just seem to enjoy the creative output, and I occasionally get some feedback that somebody's gotten something from it in some way, shape or form, and that's always a blessing amidst all the crazy trolley sort of, somewhat sometimes insulting comments that come along. But I'm learning to just ride those out. Everybody has their judgments, and we know what to do about that. So I'm more interested in a single drop of beauty in the world, and if I can touch somebody's heart, or if I can touch somebody's, soul that longs for a kind of true freedom, not a theoretical, not spiritual isms, not spiritual philosophy particularly, but the living truth of how to live a more blessed, more divine, a more connected, more true, more equanimous life, and it touches anybody, then so be it. I like that. That warms my heart and gives me reason to walk, to be in the world. That's what I'm doing, in the world, but not of the world. I seek that for myself. In fact, Amoda, my teacher and beautiful consort, and I, in many ways that's what we are teaching, if teaching is the right word. How to carry awakened realization into everyday life. That's where the grit really is. Thank you so much.